welcome. I'm Werial. Today I'm going to give you conditionals or conditional sentences under grammar. Before I start, I have to define the term grammar. Grammar itself can be defined as the system of rules and principles for speaking and writing a language. If somebody does not know grammar, that person cannot be a good English speaker, cannot be a good English writer, reader, or listener. So grammar itself has many categories, of which this one is part of it. Conditional sentences have always been the major setback for our students in the Sudan secondary examination. Most of the students look at them as if they are difficult, but in real sense, they are not that difficult. It is your understanding that makes them difficult. Follow me in this lecture, and I hope you will enjoy it. Conditional sentences or conditionals themselves, one of the most widely studied phenomena in formal semantics, and had also been discussed widely in philosophy of language, in computer science, in decision theory, among other fields. So they are very important indeed. The definition of this kind of grammar is that they discuss known factors or hypothetical situations and or in relation to their consequences. That is the definition of a conditional. They are called conditional cases, they are called conditional clauses, they are called conditional sentences or conditionals. Or sometimes they are called if clauses. They are of four types: type 0 or zero conditional, type 1 or first conditional, type 2 or second conditional. And then the last one is type 3 or the third conditional sentence. The formation of this kind of conditionals are of two ways that we should first know before we solve or we go deeply into our topic. This kind of sentences are formed in two ways. We have the if clause and the main clause or the subordinate clause. They are used interchangeably. It doesn't matter which one comes first. You can start with the if clause or with the main clause. It doesn't change. It doesn't affect any meaning, the meaning of a sentence. The meaning remains the same, whether you start with the main clause or with the if clause. Well, let us start with the first one. This is called zero conditional sentence or if zero. It does not come in your examination. Your exam only focuses on these three, but you should know it because it is good to know, something in general. Zero conditional sentences are the type of the sentences that express true things or things which are true in general. That is the definition of the zero conditional sentence. The structure for this kind of conditional sentence is simple present plus simple present. When we talk of simple present, we mean verb 1. We have three kinds of verb: verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3. We mean the base form of the verb. So the example for the zero conditional sentence is, let's take this simple example of charity, of helping the poor. You see, it is good always for people to help, the poor. For example, if I have money, I give the poor. It means we have now started the if clause and ended with the main clause or the subordinate clause. But when you reverse them, the meaning remains the same. It doesn't change. For example, you can say, I give the poor if I have money. It means that anytime you have money, you always give the poor. So this is something true in general. This is now our simple present. And this is now our simple present, you see. So, and the rule of the structure says the formation of this kind of conditional sentence is simple present plus simple present. Here is our simple present. Here is our simple present. The difference is this one is called verb to have, and this one is verb to do, the positive form. You can add more examples to satisfy yourself. The first conditional sentence. The definition of the first conditional sentence can be the kind of the sentence that expresses realities and possibilities. It is often called if one, but the first one is called if zero. The structure for this kind of conditional sentence is simple present plus simple future, or sometimes might, may, and can. These are the models that you can use when it comes to the first conditional sentence. The structure is simple present plus simple future. For example, if I have money, I will give the poor. But here it was, if I have money, I give the poor. There is no will. That shows that this one is a possible activity or a possible action. Another more examples can be like, if I get money, I will buy a house. This is, a possible activity. You can start with the main clause and end with the if clause. It will not change the meaning. Let's come to the second one, or the third one, sorry. The third one is the second conditional sentence, or if two. The definition of this kind of sentence can be hypothetical or unrealistic scenarios, things which are not real, impossible, or improbable. The structure for this kind of conditional sentence is simple past plus would slash could plus verb 1. When we say verb 1, we mean when we have the verb 1, verb 2 in English grammar, we mean the base form. If it is go or goes, it becomes when? It becomes when or become gone. So we mean the verb 1. We don't mean this, but we mean verb number 1. For example, if I had money, I would give the poor. Now would plus verb 1. Or I would give the poor if I had money. It doesn't matter which clause you use first. The last one is the third conditional sentence that shows actions and states which are too late to be done. Things which are too late to be done are called the third conditional sentences. The structure is past perfect plus would have slash could have plus verb number 3, this verb. We know very well past perfect in English language is one of the 12 tenses or the 16 tenses when you include the conditional cases. Because when you say I go, this is simple present. When you say I am going, this is present continuous. I have gone is present perfect. I have been going is present perfect continuous. I went is simple past. I was going is past continuous. I had gone is past perfect, and so on and so forth. So this is what we call past perfect. For example, if I had money, you see, there are now two. If I had money, I would have given the poor. It means these things, it's too late. You had wanted to do it, but because of the time, you did not do it. So this is called conditional sentence number 3. You can start with, I would have given the poor if I had had money. So this is now our past. This is perfect based on the structure or the rule. This is now would have future perfect condition. Future perfect. Another more example for this one. You can say if I had known that person, I would have befriended him or her. If I had done this, I would have done the other one. So the contingent on something else. Because it tells things which are too late to be done. Let's make a quick revision on the 4 conditional sentences. The first one, when you say, if I have money, I give the poor. So this one is called if clause, and the other one is called the main clause or the subordinate clause. The second one, if I have money, I will give the poor. This one is also what? The if clause, and the other one is the main or the subordinate clause. To the second conditional sentence, this is if clause, and the other one is the main clause. This is the if clause, and this is the subordinate or the main clause. I give the poor if I have money, without comma. I will give the poor if I have money, without a comma. I would give the poor if I had money, without a comma. I would have given the poor if I had had money. This is the only example that I've given you, because it is always good, to help the poor. Charity is always the best. And that brings us to the ends of the 4 conditional sentences. We shall now do an exercise so that we see if we are good in conditionals or not.